Hey everyone, it's John again to play some Immaculate Grid. Going for the low time, going for the low rarity score. And I think I might have just willed a signing into existence. It was I didn't actually do it, but it was I'd commented the other day, it was Brewers and Yankees. I'm like, well, Gary Sanchez should work this year. And then I thought, wait a minute, he hasn't that trade has there not trade signing hasn't even been finalized yet. It's been like a while. Anyway, I think it was just confirmed today. So Gary Sanchez is coming to the Brewers. That's an interesting one since the Brewers already have William Contreras behind the plate. Sanchez is a very good offensive catcher, not a particularly good defensive catcher, but his like a lot of his value is from what he brings to uh, the on the offensive side of the ball for his position. So it'll be interesting. Brewers, I think, will DH him for the most part, but sort of spot start him around in and around Contreras' starts. That's kind of my sense. But we'll see how that all shapes up. Baseball season is so close. It's just a month and change away. Looking forward to it. All right, let's play. Let's play this while we pass the time until baseball season. Sharing the screen, hit and share, doing the thing. That's grid 42 from yesterday. All right, and away. Oh, I gotta start the timer. There we go. Yeah. Reggie Sanders plays for both of these teams. Get the right one. He also would have worked here. Andy Bennis will work there. Also would have worked there. Kevin Mitchell. Man, I'm worried I'm using too many really low ones here. Let's get Vina for second base. Brandon Phillips. Pierre for second base. 30 home runs. Dunn did that a whole bunch. Pujols did that a whole bunch. And Griffey did that a whole bunch. Bam, 45 seconds with a score of exactly 100. Maybe maybe I should get some bonus points for hitting 100 on the dot in that 45-second round there. I played some pretty rare-ish people over here. Kevin Mitchell for Padres and Mariners. I don't know where my mind went there. And also I used Andy Bennis, who also would have worked for Padres and Mariners, and Joey Cora, who would have worked for Padres and Mariners. I might be left without some people I can figure out. I'll have to at least really think about it. Henderson works. Ricky Henderson, all reliable. He'll work. Yeah, man, let's see. So I guess did I get the most popular for those other ones? Now, Votto was ahead there, but yeah, it looks like it was Pujols, Griffey, and Phillips were the ones I picked that were the most popular. All right. I'm going to stop sharing and we'll reshare. But I mean, in order to do that, I need to find the actual screen. There it is. Get rid of grid 42 there. All right. So now we're going for low rarity scores in earnest. Actually, Kevin Mitchell would work here. He hit 30 home runs in a strike-shortened 1994 season. And he works there and there, and I used him there. But it's a different category. Let's see. Sean Figgins played second base. Jose Lopez played second base. I gotta believe David Bell played a little bit of second base, but he was more of a third baseman. Harold Reynolds is gonna draw a lot. And the Mariners have only been around since 1977, so. And Cano took the lion's share. I saw that. Over here for 30 home runs. Let's go with Paul Sorrento, who has made a frequent appearance on my grids, but he's not that rare. He works for Cleveland, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, and Seattle. And he was on that 97 Mariners team, which featured Griffey hitting 56 home runs, Buhner hit over 40. Obviously, A-Rod and Edgar Martinez were on that team. And Paul Sereno hit 31 home runs while playing first base for the Mariners before becoming a original Devil Ray in 1998. I have his rookie card with the Twins, which I think I have in one of those binders over there. And then he's featured with Cleveland, which is an action shot. And usually you get like a mug shot of these guys and get an action shot with Paul Sereno. So I think that's cool. Let's see, 30 home runs for the Cardinals. You go Hornsby. You go Ducky Medwick had, I think he led the league with like 31 home runs or something like that when he won the Triple Crown. Obviously Musial will work. But then your 80s Cardinals aren't hitting very many home runs because I mean they're hitting like under 100 home runs as a team while stealing about 250 bases combined as a team. Like you look at that 85 Cardinals team and it's got like 5 or 6 guys stealing over 30 bases. Vince Coleman leading the way, but also Willie McGee and Ozzie Smith over 50. So like Tom Hers over here at 30 stolen bases, and he's like 5th or 6th on his own team. Let's see. And then for second base, well, let's see. Let's finish out 30. We should be able to nail this one down. Tatis Senior, Fernando Tatis Senior will work. Ray Langford will work. McGuire obviously works. Edmonds, Roland, Pujols. Ludwig, Ryan Ludwig had a great 2008 season. So I actually think it's kind of between Medwick for me and Ludwig. Those names are they have a nice little symmetry to them. Oh, and you guys more recently like Arenado and Goldschmidt both did it, and Matt Carpenter will work. So there's a lot of options, and I'm just trying to think of what's the most rare. Medwick, I've got basically 3 choices that I'm between. So at least I'm gonna spell out the logic and then I'll pick one, and maybe it'll be right, maybe it won't. Oh, Johnny Mize also will work from the early days. Maybe Mize is a good pick. Anyway, my logic here is essentially Medwick's old but won a Triple Crown. Ludwig is fairly recent, but it wasn't a great year for the Cardinals. They won like 85 games. Brewers actually beat them out for the wild card. And I think you can get mass behind, your Pujols and Edmonds and Roland and all that. Tatis had a 30 homer season, kind of out of nowhere, but I mean, he's A, the father of a major league star, and B, hit the 2 grand slams in an inning against Chan Ho Park. I think it's a fairly famous accomplishment. So I think I'm gonna go with Mize actually. The more I think about it, it's a big time power hitter, but you know what? Nah, Ludwig. I'm tinkering. I should really just pick one of these guys. Takes 2%. I don't know. Maybe that was right. All right. 30 home runs for the Reds. So I think Lee May works, but certainly Johnny Bench works, Tony Perez works, George Foster works. And then Dave Parker works. Barry Larkin works, went 30-30 one year. Greg Vaughn sneaks that 45 home run season in. Ted Kluszewski in the mid 50s. And then you got Frank Robinson, of course, will work. I'm trying to think of anybody like pre-integration hitting over 30 home runs for the Reds, but no one's coming to mind. And then as you get like I mentioned Larkin, Greg Vaughn. Sean Casey was not a 30 homer guy. I'll say Eddie Taubensee had a big year in there somewhere, but I think 99 I wrote about in my book about how he was a great offensive, pretty good offensive, great, but pretty good offensive catcher, but was the worst defensive catcher in the league while he was there. Um, I think O'Neill's going to work. Eric Davis will certainly work. Let's go with Clue. Takes 4%. Maybe. All right. Now we need a second baseman for the Reds. Um, Pete Rose started as second baseman. I'm trying to. There was a guy in between Pete Rose and Joe Morgan, and I'm blanking on his name. Um, Brett Boone, of course. I think Pokey Reese spent a little time over there. Trying to think who would have been the second baseman on that 90 World Series team. Trying some blanks. I'm gonna go with Pokey. He was mainly shortstop for the Reds, but he played a little second. Ooh, that was pretty high. All right. Cardinals, so you can go with her. I could go with Frisch. Go with Lavinia was afterwards. Delano DeShields when I first started watching the Cardinals. Um, yeah, Frisch does. I go sub one. Recency bias is definitely a thing. Um, I know he mainly played third, but I'm gonna take a shot at David Bell. All right, point three. Um, let's see. We got Gary Templeton. We get Gant. He'll work for both of these. Greg Vaughn will certainly work. Who else? Who else sneaks in there? Maybe that's where we use Randy Myers. 4%. He played like a month in San Diego. All right. 4% of people got that. Wow. All right. Let's see. Cardinals and Padres. I just throw Gant in there. So he goes sub one. How is Randy Myers as a Padre 8 times as popular as Ron Gant with this particular combo? Like I know Randy Myers was on the 1990 team, so I get how he's known as a Red, but he was barely with the Padres. All right, let's wrap this up here. We've got the Mariners and Padres. I know Ricky Henderson will work. I know Andy Bennis would have worked. Um, let's see. I don't think this is a Greg Myers combo. I know he played for the Padres. Ooh, you know who this will work for? Former Milwaukee Brewer, Mark Newfield. Point one. Finally got one good one in there. I'm looking at 27, 25. I probably had some better ones. Oh well. Finally came up with a good one there. Ron Vallone also would have worked. He was in the same trade, but Ron Vallone's pretty popular. So I'll take this. That's Pokey Reese was a lot higher than I would have thought, but um I I definitely misfired on these. But I have to take a look and come up with who would have been a better one. All right. Well, thanks a lot for playing, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.